Hey everyone, welcome back to Gamecasters, and today I've got a new build for you guys on Diablo 3 for Season 14. This is for consoles, so I'm playing on Xbox One. From what I've been hearing, these builds are the same for both PlayStation and Xbox, so obviously the leaderboards are a little bit different on both because players on different consoles. But this is a speed build I've been working on for Wizard. This is basically your way of doing nephalem rifts and bounties a lot faster. Energy Twister, I did show you guys a little bit of a faster build of Energy Twister, like you cut off a little bit of your damage to be able to move faster through bounties with it. But this build is fully meant to be able to speed run bounties and get through as much as you can as fast as possible. The highest GR that this build can go with the set I have running with it goes about to a GR, I want to say 70, and that's without everything being like statted out and ancients and augments and all that stuff. The gems are leveled up because it runs about the same gems as the Energy Twister Wizard, so you're not having to level up new gems or anything. It's already there. The damage is there. All you have to do is really just get the set and the skills. So I'm going to go through this with you guys on the gear, the skills, and the cubed items that you'll be needing to run for this, as well as the runes for those skills. So this build runs a Aether Walker, which makes it where your teleport no longer has a cooldown, but it costs 25 arcane power. This basically makes you able to do this and just constantly move around. This is fantastic for areas where you normally have to kind of like go around walls and stuff, because you can usually just teleport through things like that. Just kind of, move past things that you normally had to go around or take extra time. As for set pieces, you'll be running Talrasha set. You'll only be needing the legs, the head, chest, belt, and hands. You do not need the allegiance, and you do not need the offhand item for this. The reason being is because you'll be running a Ring of Royal Grandeur in your cube set. So that will reduce the set bonus requirement by 1. We'll go through the rest of the cubed items here in a second. I'm just explaining that part for you guys. So you'll be running Talrash's Grasp. This build does run resource cost reduction, crit hit chance, and crit hit damage. Those are your 3 primary stats for this. Now, you will want to, for pieces of gear, it does help if you go for Meteor damage, as that will be your primary source of damage for this build. So the more you can get for that, the faster you can kill enemies and stuff like that. Especially if you're doing Nephalem Rifts, because you'll want to be able to kill elites as fast as possible. Because with this build, when you're running a Nephalem Rift, you'll be jumping through and hitting the elite packs and the yellows and bosses and all that stuff. You won't be killing whites unless there is a huge group of them. Other than that, you're just going to go from elite pack to elite pack to elite pack. It does not run Nemi Bracers, though, so you'll be hunting those. I don't know if I would recommend trading off the set piece for it, because this is what gives you all your survivability. You're running Ashnagar's Blood Bracer, and increases the potency of your shields by 99%. Now, I'm going to go through all of this and show you guys what connects to each other and all that here in a second. But back to the set, you'll be running a Mantle of Channeling with cooldown reduction and ignore the blizzard damage. I need to transmute that off for meteor damage. Talrash's Relentless Pursuit as your chest piece. Talrash's Guise of Wisdom as your headpiece, which has cooldown on it from a diamond. You can either run a diamond or an emerald in it. I think it's an emerald. It's either an emerald or I think a topaz. But I'm running the diamond because of the cooldown of skills, because this build runs that. I do have meteor damage on it. I haven't rolled it enough to get it maxed out or anything. Like I said, I've just kind of recently built this. Obviously, you'll be running intel gems in your chest piece and pants and all that. Your weapon runs an emerald, which I have in there right now. I have flawless royals in each piece. You will be running a Traveler's Pledge and a Compass Rose. This will give you increased damage while you're standing still, and you'll get damage resistance while you're moving. Your source is still the Etch Sigil. I'm using the Etch Sigil from my Energy Twister build, so this one's not exactly statted for the Meteor build, but I already have augmented. It has crit hit chance on it. It's a damn good Etch Sigil for not being a primal, so that's the best I'm going for right now, unless I get a primal, and I'm just going to use this for my speed build. You will be running a Halo of Tyranny. You take 68% less damage for 5 seconds after your Storm Armor electrocutes an enemy more than 15 yards away, which you run Storm Armor as a skill. And then you'll be running Nilfer's Boast. This increases the damage of Meteor by 600% when your Meteor hits 3 or fewer enemies. The damage is increased by 876%. I think the highest it can go up to is 900. So this rolled pretty damn good for a non-ancient or a primal, unless it goes up to 1,000, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Either way, what I've got, I'm still doing enough damage to speed this. You'll be running Talrash's Stride as your pants, and you'll be running Talrash's Brace as a belt. That's all for the gear. I will show you guys the set bonus you get from this. At 2-piece, you'll damaging enemies with Arcane, Cold Fire, or Lightning will cause a meteor of the same damage type to fall from the sky. There is an 8-second cooldown for each damage type. So that you'll be running for this build, each one does a different damage type. So the more you switch back and forth between those damage types, you'll be firing off more and more meteors of different damages. A 4-piece set, Arcane, Cold Fire, and Lightning attacks each increase your resistances by 25% for 8 seconds. So also at the same time you're firing off those meteors, you're getting survivability. And in a 6-piece set, this is where the damage really starts to kick in. Attacks increase your damage by 750% for 8 seconds. Arcane, Cold Fire, and Lightning attacks each add 1 stack. At 4 stacks, each different elemental attack extends the duration by 2 seconds up to a maximum of 8 seconds. So, when you have a 4 stack going, you're getting roughly 20, I think it's 3,000 damage. 14, 40, yeah, you're getting 3,000 damage with a full stack. So this set really boosts that damage that you're going to be getting. Not to mention that you'll be able to teleport around with this and just keep dropping meteors as you go. While you're channeling your Disintegrate and Ray of Frost, you deal 20% increased damage and take 25% reduced damage. But first I'm going to show you guys the skills. So I'm running Disintegrate with Convergence as the rune for it. You channel a beam of pure energy that pierces through all enemies. If you've ever run the Archon build for Wizard, that's basically what it runs. Turns its damage into fire, so that's firing off fire meteors. You'll be running Ray of Frost, which has the numb rune on it. Sometimes freezes them. That's dealing cold damage, which is also firing off a cold meteor. You're running Teleport with Calamity. You cast a short-range wave of force that stuns after teleporting. You're running Magic Weapon with Conduit on it, so when you hit an enemy, you're regaining arcane power, which allows you to keep teleporting around and dropping more meteors. You're obviously running Meteor. You'll be running the Thunderclash rune on that. It turns the damage into lightning, so when you throw out a meteor itself, you're actually throwing out 2 of them, because when you deal damage of that type with lightning, it's also going to drop another meteor because you're dealing lightning damage. You'll be running Storm Armor with Power of the Storm on it. That reduces the arcane power cost of all skills while it's active. and it also electrocutes enemies with lightning. So occasionally, when your storm armor fires off, you'll be hitting an enemy with a meteor just by walking around the map. For passives, you will be running Astral Presence. It increases your maximum arcane power by 20 and arcane power regeneration by 2.5 per second. You'll be running Unstable Anomaly. This is basically your second life thing. When you take so much damage, you release a shockwave that knocks back all the enemies near you, and you basically just don't die. This can fire off once every minute, 60 seconds, so be careful not to like trust on that too much. That's basically a saving grace if you get in a really bad spot. Your third passive is Power Hungry. You deal 30% additional damage to enemies further than 30 yards, which makes it so the further you're hitting enemies with your meteors, the more damage you're doing. And Galvanizing Ward. As long as you have not taken damage in the last 5 seconds, you gain a protective shield that absorbs the next 60% of your life in damage. So this build really has a lot of survivability, and it's still able to put out the damage that you need to be able to run bounties. The only boss I've had a problem fighting with this speed build was Meteor, which a lot of speed builds I've seen kind of do. But honestly, he's just a hard boss fight in general, so unless you're running the Energy Twister build, which you could just switch over to go kill him real quick and then switch back, or just save that bounty for last. It's up to you how you do that. Or if the people in your lobby join in by accident, you know, there's a lot of different variables, but that's just a possibility. Now we're going over to the Kanai's Cubed items. You'll be running a Death Wish, which if you're already running a Twisted Sword, for your Energy Twister build, you can run the Death Wish or the Twisted Sword as your equipped item because the other one will be cubed. So if you're running a Twisted Sword, you'll already have a Death Wish cubed. That's fine, it's already on. You'll also be running a Hergbrash's Binding, which is the belt you normally have equipped for Energy Twister Wizard, so you'll need a second one for this. While you're channeling your Arcane Torrent, Disintegrate, or Ray of Frost, all damage is increased by 325%, and you reduce the arcane power cost of Arcane Torrent, Disintegrate, and Ray of Frost by 65%. So, this is one of the fastest builds for bounties and nephalem rifts, which I'll go ahead and show you guys this build running in a nephalem rift real quick. Forgot to enter. I'm used to doing GRs and it automatically pulling me into them, so.
Embrace your...
Not ready yet.
But this is basically all you do. Fire off laser beams, jump around, hit enemies with meteors, run. I'm also, I forgot to mention the legendary gems for this build, but it runs Zai's Stone of Vengeance, a Bane of the Stricken, and I forget what my other one is, a Bane of the Trapped. Now, I did trade out, actually, no, I think it ran a Tyguk, but I traded out the one that I have on my amulet for a Boon of the Order, just so I can get more gold while running Nephalem Rifts and stuff, so I have more gold to empower my GRs when I'm running those. So it's all a matter of preference, or if you need that extra damage from a Tyguk or a Stricken, then whichever one, you know, works best for you, but it's all up to preference, or what your ability to kill is and stuff like that, so. I'm about to piss some orbs over here. But yeah, the build is super fun. Once you're running it right and you learn how the damage fires off and how to get your tornadoes to fire off as much as possible. Or you're not your tornadoes, your meteors. I'm so used to playing an Energy Twister at this point. That was weird. It was like teleporting like crazily.
Not
But once you figure it out, it's super fun to play. You teleport around, you press a button, shoot a laser beam, and things die. The build takes like no real skill to play, unless you're wanting to like GR with this build, like push with it. But right now, like I've said, Energy Twister is just the highest pushing build right now on console, so that's the one you should be running. It sucks, but that's what's climbing, and that's just how the game's going at the moment. But I'm hoping to see with the new season some new builds kind of push past it, because Energy Twister's kind of been dominating for the last few seasons on console, so we'll see where things go with the new one. But right now, the Twister build is the top one, and this is a really good speed build. I think this build has the potential to push really high. I think maybe
Still waiting.
I would say I could probably push a GR90 with this build if I were to augment, and that's not even with like fully, like all my gear augmented. I have one augment equipped right now, and most of this gear is not even ancient or statted, and it's dealing this much damage and survivability. So I can imagine this build if it was fully fleshed out. If you guys want, leave me a comment down below if there's any more questions you have, or another build you'd like to see, or any information about the game I haven't explained enough yet. Just let me know what you guys want to see, and I'll get a video out for you. I know it's been a little slow these last couple of weeks, but that's because I've been really pushing up the leaderboard. I'm at position 109 on the Wizard leaderboard for GRing. I'm pushing a GR 110 right now with Energy Twister, so I'm like 16 rifts under position 1 on the leaderboard, so I'm really trying to push up as far as I can and show you guys the build at its maximum potential. But right now, that's what I've been up to. So I did find some spare time because I've been really like pushing for primals at this point. I have like nothing else I can really do to get the build to push any further. So right now I've had some extra time to just kind of flesh out some other builds for Wizard and everything. So I might show you guys another one later this week, maybe if not next week. But other than that, I think that's all I really have to talk about today. So this is the current Meteor build for bounty running and nephalem rift running. It's super effective. It's really easy to play. It's fun to play. And if you just need a break for Energy Twister, this is probably a build you'd enjoy playing. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment down below if there's any other thing you'd like to see that I haven't done yet or I'm not planning to do. Ask me any questions you might have about the game or console. I know more of the people really like pushing out videos for console Diablo right now, so I'm going to keep trying to keep you guys updated on the game. I will be doing another video later today on some other stuff. I'll be talking about gear, like ancients and stuff, the differentiations between them, and what to expect with maybe Season 15. But for right now, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications when a new video comes out if you'd like to see them, and hit the like button if you like this video. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.